Oh, is that how it was?
Okay, so is everybody comfy? All good? All good? All right. So before I begin, we're going to have some fun tonight, okay? And what I mean by fun is I want you to kind of let loose. So with that note, could everyone stand up, please? And don't be opening through the pages, okay? I can see what you're doing. We're not going to the end of the book. All right. So you're going to follow me. We're going to take 5 deep breaths. Okay? Is that okay? Yep. All right. Okay, arms up. Take in love, peace, joy, whatever it is that makes your heart happy. Think of those things. Take the breath in, hold for a few seconds. Exhale. Out all the things you don't want. Doubt, fear. One more time. In, pick another word. Hold it. Push out what you don't want. Third time. Take a breath in. Pick another word. Hold for a few seconds. Push out what you don't want. And it could be the opposite of the word that you inhaled with. Fourth one. Fill the lungs with joy, confidence. A few seconds. Push out. Last one. Peace. Few seconds. Push it out. What you don't want. That feel good? Oh, look at you all. You look so good. All right. Let's have a seat. Thank you for. All right. So before I begin, I want to ask a dear friend. I did this with the chamber actually 5 years ago, I believe, right? About 5 years ago. And I wanted to kind of do it again, but I just, life happens and blah, 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 excuses. But it's a lot of, it's a big undertaking to do a vision workshop because you don't know what's going to come out of it. And I hope for you from the bottom of my heart that amazing discoveries come out of this process as we go through this together. So I just wanted to ask Valerie, because she was there at and Ching and Daryl, were you there? So Valerie was there 5 years ago when I did this vision retreat. And I asked her if it was okay for her to share what has transpired since. So Valerie, could you share with us?
I reflect back on this retreat with Kasama very often in my life. I was in a place where I was a part-time employee here at the Chamber of Commerce, and I was going to school, and I had to give up my past career as a massage therapist, and I ran my own business, and I was extremely passionate about my job that I had done for 20 years, but my body timed out, and I was very lost and had no direction, and I was under a lot of stress, going to Napa Valley College, working the job here part-time. My predecessor had gone out on maternity leave, and she was gone for 4 months, and they just kind of left me in charge of the chamber with no instruction, no direction, and no real title to be doing the job. And when she came back, I was just counting the days for her to come back. And when she came back, it was the beginning of January, and she resigned. And she was not going to continue as the chamber CEO, and I had been doing the job for about 5 months. And I was told by many of the chamber members that it would be a great opportunity for me to apply for the job. But I was getting a lot of pushback from the board members because on paper I did not have a college degree, and I did not have chamber experience in the management level, and I was told I wasn't qualified for the job. And so I had gone to Kasama and told her that I was getting ready to resign from the chamber and move on. And I came to the session, and one of the things she had us do was write down on our paper what was stressing us out, and I big giant letters, school, across it. And my goal was to get my bachelor's degree and find my next career. And I knew in that moment I needed to quit my job, and I needed to listen to the members of the chamber, and I needed to apply for that job, whether the board thought I was qualified for it or not. And here I sit, March 16 will be my 5 years as chamber CEO. And it's been an extremely rewarding career, and I've been able to grow our chamber and help our community and the businesses at large. And if it wasn't for this session, I really truly believe I never would have even applied for that job. So thank you, and thank you for
Thank you. Every time she tells me this, like, I'm getting goosebumps right now. To think that you could participate in someone's vision that didn't exist until they went through the process. And thank you for your transparency, for sharing that. And that's what I hope for you, that whatever that may come out of this, it's still gonna take work, right? And it may be you're already on track and you can now deepen what is already the path that you've been on. And for some of you, other things are gonna come up. And I just encourage you to really stay open. Don't resist it. Because that's when, you know, some people go through their lives, they're in their 50s, 60s, and they've been doing the work that they didn't care for, but they didn't want to step out, right? So I hope that, I mean, I do this with students, same conversation, it's just, I get to them a little bit sooner, right? So anyway, okay, so we're gonna begin. You ready? Okay, now you know the book. I know you cheated, but whatever. All right. So the first thing is, you know, we have some house rules, and I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So we're going to end. The goal is we're going to end at 8 o'clock, okay? And respect for one another by turning off our electronics, unless you're taking pictures for whatever reason. But you shouldn't be texting. If you need to take a call and it's important, I ask that you step outside, okay? And if you could silence your phone, now would be a good time. If your timer is gonna go off, just make it a silent timer, buzzer, what have you. The more you put in, the more you will get out. That's just a rule of life, right? And if you really wanna just play full out, that's what happened to Valerie. She played full out. And she went and chased after what she didn't know existed, and we wouldn't be where we are at the chamber without her taking that leap of faith. There's no right or wrong in your question or answer, so as we go through the discovery process, don't try to make it fit. Like, be bold, you know, and just be open with the answers, the things that come up. Go with your gut, don't try to reform your answers. Or when you're sharing, I'm going to ask you to share with the people at your table, or if you want to get up and walk around and share, that's fine too. Like, this is totally free form, okay? Just know that this is not a place for judgment. There's enough of that out there. Would you agree? We're not going to let this happen here, okay? We'll protect each other's privacy, okay? So when you see them at Safeway or whatever, like, hey, did you lose the 30 pounds? Or, you know, like, no, let's not do that. Okay, let's protect each other. Let's form a community of love and respect in what we're all trying to do, because you can only be transparent when you don't feel like people are not protecting, right, your information and who you are. And thank you for being positive, for bringing your attitude. You could be anywhere else on a Thursday night, but you're here. And I'm just honored to be able to spend time with you, okay? All right, so just on the next page, you see some flyers and so on and so forth. I just want to give you a little background. This is not about me. This is not about, you know, braggy, but it's about where I came from. I came from not knowing that I wanted to be a real estate agent, and that's all about real estate, right? But I started 20 years ago in 2004 because a broker recruited me because I was doing loans and I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, Bart's like, you know, you could work from home, get the real estate license, and you could be a mortgage person. And I don't really like numbers that much. And I'm like, okay. So I went and pitched, and then the broker is like, I'm like, can I be like your in-house mortgage? Like, I didn't even know all the terminologies. I was like 3 months into it. He said, why don't we go to lunch? And 6 hours later, he recruited me into real estate. And I was like, oh, I want to learn from this person. And I already have the license. And the next day, I moved my license from the mortgage company in San Francisco to Prudential. And knew nothing. Didn't do sales. Have never done any of that stuff. I can tell you that where I started, and I was like the second runner-up, rookie of the year, all the things. I really didn't have a method. I didn't have a system. I was just coachable. How many of you feel you're coachable? I might prove you wrong tonight, but it's good to think that you're coachable, right? And so I just kind of surrender to like, all right, learn from the expert. If they tell me to go out the back door instead of go out the front door, I'll do that. I'm not gonna question, right? So I did that, and I worked long hours, like probably the first year, and Quinn was like a year and a half, right? But my parents were living with us, so all the things, and I didn't know if I was gonna make it. Fast forward, I sought out coaching. I became a certified leadership coach because I thought, I don't know if I want to keep doing real estate. And that was when my clients were losing their homes. It was during the foreclosure era, and it broke my heart. And I was making money from people fighting, families were fighting, and their values were dropping. It was just depressing. And I was burned out because I was working by myself. I didn't know, like I said, I didn't have a system. And I started seeking out coaching, and the leadership development work had kind of shaped me to be who I am today. And when I came back, so I took a break, like I quit. And Bart was like, okay, so we went from 2-income family to a 1-income, because I wasn't making money. I was like trying to hustle to do workshops, but then I wanted to work with kids who didn't have money, Boys and Girls Club, nonprofits. And I knew that was where my heart was. I still didn't know how it all was gonna come together, leap of faith. I was just in faith. Anyway, I believe in the work of coaching. I believe in the work of personal and professional development because I'm a living proof of that, right? So this 2024 was a big year for our business. It was Bart's full-time with me, second year as my business partner. He left his two decades plus career as a CPA, right? Because he was burned out. And I was like, okay, now it's 1 income. Here we go again, but we're transactional, right? We don't have a salary. But it was a lot of changes that we were going through. But then last year, I saw this thing on the feed, the Best of Napa County. I didn't know what it was. I had never seen it before, but I feel like there's a reason that something floats up in your face and you should not ignore it. So I'm like, oh, I'll apply, nominate my own business, right? But I'm not a solo agent anymore because Bart is on my team. We're a team, so we're in the team category. Next thing, I sent a text out to like maybe 200 people that I love. So I do annual gratitude party, and these were the people I blasted the text to. And they were texting back like I was overwhelmed with like love. And they're like, are you kidding me? Of course we're gonna vote for you. We're gonna vote for you every day. And I was like, oh, that was like, fill my heart. Next thing, I got an email from these Best of Napa County people saying, oh, you need to sign an NDA because we have some news for you. And I'm like, oh, maybe second place. So anyway, sign the thing. They're like, congratulations, you're gold, you're first place. And I'm thinking, what? Like, our little team of 2 agents of all of Napa County, and I saw the names of those brokerages. I was like I couldn't even like take it all in. Fast forward, so we won Best of Napa County. That's how I got connected with Farah, with her daughter's business that was also two awards of Best of Napa County with their
Commerce through the chamber.
what is it?
Kids Commerce.
Kids Commerce. Yes. The brainchild of Kids Commerce.
Yes.
So you see how it's all connected, right? Well, then ever since then, like the trajectory of our business has, I know how to market, and I share the good news, right? And there was a time when I had trouble, like I didn't want my picture on the business card because I thought, you know, you're just full of it, full of yourself, right? But it's the only way people remember you, right? It's part of branding. So I dug deep into branding. So anyway, so I blasted, you know, the best of Napa County. Came the interview, and the interview, like I was just interviewed today. Mark's like, oh, somebody wants to talk to you about American Canyon. And I was like, so I, you know, sometimes you get these calls and I'm like, what can I do for you? And she went into this whole long list of questions about American Canyon. And I actually knew the answers, which was, I was like, wow, that was pretty good. I should do a video just on that, right? But that came from all of this, right? So when you have been recognized, don't push it down. Don't not make time to be the light. There's a reason why you've been awarded, right? So I share that with you because I'm just seeing things happening now. The agent in Napa, the other flyer to the right that you see, approached me and said, would you host this mastermind? And I keep the little voice in my head is like, what, little Omi? Like, what? Like, I'm still like blown away, like I don't feel like it's me. But, and then I see that she's like, are you okay with the flyer? And I'm like, yes, you know. I said, I don't have time I don't have the bandwidth to be planned. She's like, we'll do everything. You just need to show up. And we'll figure out how to facilitate the mastermind. We sent, I don't know, the email out to 400 agents. And we might just have 20 agents, okay? Because people who are hustling to make money are too busy to improve themselves. Ouch, right? Too busy. They gotta go make money. So they're too busy, so they don't have time to pour back into themselves and their business. And I say that with love and respect, but most entrepreneurs are that way, right? So that, I wanted to share that with you because I wanted you to know that without the help of others, we would just be, you know, an agent hustling, knocking on doors, making cold calls, and all the things, right? And then my manager sent this thing out that we're like number 5 in the REMAX regional, whatever, Solano County, because our manager is Solano County, but we're Napa County. But anyway, for us to even rank, I was like, what? You know, so I'm just going with it, okay? So I'm telling y'all this because this 2024 had been the year that we didn't know we were building up to it. Did it happen overnight? No. Blood, sweat, and tears, all the things, okay? And it's true for you. In anything that you're doing, you just gotta stay the course and you gotta keep hustling. And we're gonna kind of talk about the habits and all the things in just a little bit. But before I continue, just so I get to know the group a little bit, and I know you, but I wanna know what your intention is, why are you here? Because that helps me to sort of guide our talk in that way. And then I also have the opportunity to get to know you, okay? I know some of you are, you know, exploring, and it could be because you're here for your side entrepreneurial effort. Maybe you're here because you want to develop whatever that is. Remember, is there a wrong answer in this room? There's no wrong answer. So I would just love for you to just say your name, what you do, and what's your intention from our time together tonight. So why don't we start here?
Hi, I'm Farah. Our family owns TJ's Boba. So yes, we did won Best of Napa for gold, juice and smoothie, and silver for food trucks. Which, you know, when you go through the whole list, you're like, how did we beat these people? But we did. But we have a group, we have a lot of supporters for our business. Our daughter started it during COVID while she was still in high school. And so I really got to see her, like a young person, just go into entrepreneurship. Like when she was in 5th grade, she won, what is it called, class president. So she was really a hustler. Like she's like, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win. And Valerie totally helped us get our business from just, you know, friends and family to out in the streets. Now we have a food truck. And just recently partnered with Kalena Azabuki, which is the Warriors commentator. We just went to the Warriors game like 2 days ago with them, and it was amazing. That's go to a bunch of different places that you don't usually go to. But, I always say like closed mouths don't get fed. And
I
so basically when I saw this, I thought, okay, I have like big plans for, you know, our business. And so I've, seen Kasama, you know, like with her business, and I just truly like admire you. And I'm like, okay, I need to take this. So I'm like, I gotta go, and I text her yesterday, I'm like, how do I go, I'm gonna try to get there and this match, and you have to apply. I'm like, okay. But yes, I'm excited to be here and just learn from you. I love learning and just, you know, hearing from those, people who are successful, because that's how you learn. You can't do it on your own. You have to have a community of people to help you get to where you want to be, so.
Thank you.
Hello, Valerie Zizek Morris. I'm the president and CEO here at the American Canyon Chamber. I'm here today because I have big goals for our chamber, but I also want to set a clear vision for myself, you know, the balance between self-care and caring for others, and really just telling our story, and not just doing the work and hiding down in the dirt while I do it, but really let the community know the resources we have and how we're here to support, and the great work that we do, because I forget to tell everybody what we do. I just do it day in and day out. So that's really why I'm here, and also to bring all you guys into the room and provide this space and this opportunity and the great partnership with Kasama.
Thank you. And by the way, could you just give Valerie a round of applause for like hosting it? Every time I want to do something that could impact people, like we're like so locked in on the same cloth that when I bring it up, she's like, yes! I don't think I even finished like what I wanted to say. I'm like, oh, okay. And you know, the facilities here, so I mean, I feel very grateful that we have leadership at our Chamber of Commerce who gets it, who actually wants to serve, who actually wants to be outside the box, because that's kind of how I roll too, so thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. All the stats are from the chamber. I just brought the props, that's it, for the pants. She set it all, I came in and was like all decked out and set up, thank you.
We're business people, we're hungry, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right.
Melissa Lamatina, social worker with the County of Napa for 10.5 years. I work with older adults and medically fragile children. I also was just recently elected for city council here in American Canyon, and that was a vision I had for a long time. My kids used to call me the mayor. I just didn't have the capacity back then. And I'm here tonight because I'm getting older and I want to retire from my county jobs sooner than later. And I have kind of a vision of what my retirement life looks like, and so I'm just here to get some coaching and just some ideas, and yeah, just try to move forward.
Awesome,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you.
My name is Devette, and if you can't remember how to pronounce it, please call me Dee, because it's not David or David, it's Devette. But just call me Dee, please. So I've been a nurse for 34 years, and it's my passion to give back to people and support people. I've been studying martial arts for 10 years now. A couple of my nieces approached me and said, hey, can you teach me self-defense? And I'm thinking, what am I gonna do? My last name's Mohammed, and they cover in full burqa, you could just see their eyes. And I'm like, you guys aren't gonna go from white belt to black belt. How am I gonna teach you self-defense? So I thought about it, and I'm like, I can teach them just self-defense and teach them about safety awareness. And then there's these programs like Damsel in Defense that has presentations that are available for realtors. And then next month, February, is teen dating violence awareness. So bringing awareness into the community. So I decided to, as my side hustle, to, it's not even gonna pay me, but to give back to the community and start a 501c3 nonprofit. So I can raise money to give back to the community. And once I opened my mouth and said that this is what I've been doing, I've been teaching self-defense classes every week. Since,
Wow.
yeah, so I'm like super busy, and I just want to make sure I'm doing it right. I used to do vision boards where you just take the magazines and you cut it out and you do the words and everything. Somebody told me Pinterest, and I'm old too. I don't know how to work this. So I saw the Kasama's vision, and I'm like, I'm going. So that's why I'm here, to develop my vision and do it the right way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to Joe.
I'm house when you guys worked on the phone
Mhm.
with, John,
Yeah,
and,
that's how we met.
that's how we met,
We're
yeah.
mutual friend, yeah.
And, but I wanna learn how to move, move my business forward, because
Mhm.
I got I never went to school in here, so all my English is from the street,
Yeah.
from working with people, and I don't know how to write it in English, so that's why sometimes I got a hard time to go places, because I feel shy, but, about 2 weeks ago, when I went to the, no,
110.
110, I feel terrible when everybody's like, oh, where you been? I haven't seen your business anymore. I mean, I need to be up there, because I normally, get the work from the insurance, but a lot of people doesn't even know me, and I'm still there 20 years, and sometimes the insurance, they can just put you on the side and you be out of work.
Yeah.
So I wanna learn how to
Step into the light,
step into the line, yes.
because your business is your child.
Yeah. And I wanna pass that on to my daughters.
Oh, beautiful. Oh,
Well,
okay, we have a page just for that.
We all need our cars fixed, right?
Where's the
Those little
Kleenex
things,
boxes?
inspections, he takes care of them. He's done all the work on our cars, he's done a great job. Auto route.
That's why you're here.
that's why I'm here.
Was that not beautiful for somebody who was shy? Okay. Everybody breathe. I'll breathe. Okay, thank you, Joe, for sharing.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right,
Oh, hi. I'm Michelle Morgan. I'm currently president of American Canyon Optimist. And we're growing and growing. I'm so excited, but the reason I was excited to see this is because my goal is to really grow Optimist and to, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. The human trafficking, the dating, the violence, the domestic violence, everything that's happening that is so under the radar. And one of our big goals is to educate and get the information out there about how prevalent it is in our own city, Napa County. But we're growing. I'm so excited that we have several new members, just very recently, very excited. And they're all people who have the same passions to help people. So I'm gonna work on that, so growing the group, and I'm take my temperature, but I'm going to consider doing one more year as president. I've already done 2, because we haven't for a long time had a president-elect. So it's just been president for 2 years, but we're gonna work on doing president-elect, and I will coach that person, then that person will move on, so we'll have 2 presidential people, and so that's one of my goals. And then my personal goals, when you mentioned side hustles, I've had so many. Because I retired from Solano County after 33 years, and, but many, many years ago, I'm not afraid of it, don't be afraid of it. So, I was getting a divorce, and I thought, how am I gonna do this? And not work outside the home, too much. So I thought to myself, hey, I could do birthday parties on the weekend and become a clown. So I got in the phone book, there was a phone book back then. And I called Alfie, she was a Vallejo clown, and I said, I need to become a clown, how do we do it? That's around the coaching. So you reach out to people that are going in your same direction. And I was a professional clown for 29 years.
What?
Wow.
I did not know that about you.
Yeah, so 29 years.
What was your clown name?
Hawk and Pepper? Yeah, and I recently retired 3 years ago, but that was one of my.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at you and I just don't see the clown.
It was 5 years ago, sorry. But then I'm a notary, and I'm also a damsel pro, but I'm just saying, so every time that I've decided to do something, I reached out to a pro and said, help me do this, and it works absolutely.
excel. Your ego, if you use your ego, it's awesome. But when your ego uses you, that's when you're not coachable, because your ego is louder than the guidance, right? So coachability is when you know some stuff, but you're like, okay, let me just take that off, that knowledge hat off, put it aside, and listen. And not just listen, but listen and apply. Because if you take the time to go to somebody who's gonna mentor you, chances are they might know a thing or two more than you do, right? I mean, a mentor is somebody who is already in a place where you wanna get to, or one of the milestones. So if they're giving you advice, really take it in and apply it, and let go of what you think you know. Because if it was working for you, then you would have already been there, right? So I just wanted to share that. Thank you very much for sharing that. What? Okay, try to drop that.
I know clown. I'm the opposite, I don't know, I'm goofy, but, my name is Michelle Ryan. I have lived in American Canyon since 2010. I am a loan officer by career. I've been in the mortgage industry since, it'll be 13 years tomorrow that I worked for my branch. Our branch is out of Napa, but I had a vision years ago, and Joel and I were just talking about this. I think it was 2015. The very first chamber mixer I ever went to in American Canyon was at Joel's shop. And I didn't know anybody from anything. Corey Bradsher was the one that talked to me, because she knew my branch manager. She said, you really need to come to these chamber mixers and start to get to know your community. Because when I first moved here, I had a baby, and then I just kind of got sucked into being a mom and then going to work, and then that was it. And I really just wanted to start to get to know our town. And then I felt like for a short while there, I was on the right path, and I was hustling, and I was getting to know people, and my circles were getting bigger, and I was kind of using my job as a loan officer to engage in the community and kind of use that as my catalyst to be able to get out of the office and do things and get involved. And that was so exciting for me. And then I had some personal things, as we all do. I'm not gonna wow over here, but I had some pretty big personal life events happen, and I just got derailed. So I'm here to refocus and start over, but get back on that path that I wanted to be on. I should be much further by now. Sorry.
So don't beat yourself up. There's no room for that. You are where you're supposed to be. You are where you're supposed to be. Please know that. Every single one of us. And there's a reason. There are lessons that you're taking with you. And so now a little bit of coaching. Okay, this is what I'm doing, because I don't want you to feel like you're alone. I mean, I've known you, and I've known your heartaches. And what you have is you have a beautiful heart. You love people, and you care about your friends and your family. And you are where you're supposed to be, so that the next step that you take, you're taking what you've learned with you, not the mistakes. Do we have anyone who hasn't made mistakes? I'd love to see a show of hands, right? Thank you. I don't know where the box is. Should I go to Valerie and find the Kleenex?
Yes, leave it here.
I think it's important for you, and you be careful what you say to yourself. No one is saying that. We hear so loudly what we're saying. Have you ever done this thing where you're like, man, that was so stupid, Have you, maybe not that word, maybe something else, maybe you're not hitting yourself in the head, but have you done that where you're like, oh, why did I do that, right? And that's what you take with you, because you said it to yourself. Because what you say to yourself is so loud that you can hear it and you take it with you. So when you catch that, my dearest Michelle, and say, I should be further along, you've gotta let that go. You're where you're supposed to be. You're perfect where you are. Because now you're able to, you have been able to have been there for your girls, and you have had time to heal. If you were, I can tell you, if you were in this high pressure thing and you were wherever else where there are a lot of clients who don't care, if you need time away, you would be losing business. Because that's just how people are, right? They love you, your clients love you. I mean, I respectfully say that in real estate too. I mean, when I had I was expecting the second one, Ari, and I was 3 weeks early and I was in the hospital to check in, and they're like, oh, we're keeping you because your water's so low, and then I had the baby like that morning, right? And my client, I just took the listing, called me and said, how's it going? I thought you were gonna have the baby yet. I mean, in love, but what she was really saying was, so now what are we gonna do? You're like laid up in bed. So, you are where you're supposed to be, so you have had time to be able to put your life together with your girls. Know that. You'll be further along when you're good and ready. Right?
Can I just say something about that? I didn't get my bachelor's degree until I was 40 years old. I didn't start working at the county until after that. Because of divorce, working 4 part-time jobs, putting myself through school online. And I thought I should have been way farther off. And I'm like, well, who was the world to tell me where I should be? And once I got that, I'm just like, middle fingers to the and then you just stay on your path.
Yeah.
So don't
It's more of a middle finger to me, not to be self-destructive, but it's like, damn it, these things, weren't supposed to happen, they did, and so, okay, moving on, moving forward and onward and upward, and I don't necessarily wanna go back on the same exact path, maybe the next tier up, so that I can be better than what I thought I was doing. And I am open to coaching and all the rest, because I don't know what I'm doing. None of us are experts in anything really, just being who we are. But I'm so ready to grow and just be better and get out of the shadow and launch.
I know. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you for this. Top that one, Daryl.
We went from a clown to the tears and
Tears and clown or
eat some snacks if this is making you hungry. I don't know. I didn't even set this up.
I have to apologize. It's perfect. So my name is Daryl Doyle. I own a financial coaching and wealth management firm in Benicia. But I'm actually here because Kasama, the way she shares is this concept of attitude of gratitude. And that's something that I've lived by, and I've never heard anyone else actually tell me that. And so I've really had deep respect for just the way that she is, how she lives life and her being, of who she is. And then just kind of like, I don't know how exactly I got connected, I think through Eva, and said, you gotta come to American Canyon. And then one of the first people I think I met was Kasama, and then it just, the attitude of gratitude thing just popped out. And so I'm like, this is someone that I just need to learn more about.
Be around.
Because here's the thing, is that when you operate from that, things just flow. And I've been very blessed, and through coaching, I coach clients on money and all those types of things, and I help them manage it so that they keep it and they can fulfill on their dreams and goals.